Hello and welcome to our special edition. It's not really Monday, our special edition goal setting episode. So, in this week's news, I am going to Poland for a conference. So, I've had Monday and Tuesday of this week, I was kind of working. Tuesday evening, the trip starts, so I have a separate Compass card for the entire trip. So the trip is like a week and a half about. So this is a little bit unusual of a list. It's also, I'm at a conference, so I'm not expecting to POMO every day. On the agenda are at least 2 days that have no travel around the conference, and 1 day that has a very little bit of amount of travel. So I might have time to coffee shop, basically. So this is more of a wish list than I absolutely have to get this done. But I wanted to report that to you guys and check in with you to let you know, if it's reasonable to set goals when you're on a trip like this. It's kind of hard to know, but because the trip is so long, I really do want to have something concrete. So if I do have the opportunity to work, I know how to direct my time. So let's just go through this. As a student, I want to make sure that I'm taking notes at the conference, that I'm following up on ideas that are interesting to me, or contacts that I might want to follow up on. As a scholar, I'm going to present. This is my second international conference as a philosopher, so I'm going to do that presentation. As a girlfriend, I'm just supposed to Skype, or we might use WhatsApp, whatever. I'm just supposed to be in contact with my boyfriend as I go through the trip, make sure he knows I'm okay. Same thing with my dad. I'm just supposed to text him. My phone, I have a Sprint phone. It has really good international coverage. If that's part of your plan, it doesn't really cost more for most countries, and you can text and get slow internet for free. As a philosophy citizen, I just need to represent Notre Dame. I'm almost 100% certain I'm the only current Notre Dame person associated with this conference, so I need to represent and speak well of my department. As a graduate orientation ambassador, I just want to check in on Slack and just kind of monitor what's going on and check my email in case my input on something is really needed. As a teacher, I really want to do at least some course prep. I don't know what's reasonable, but I'm going to go to the effort before the conference, before the trip, to digitize my material so I can do course prep. I think that might be more reasonable to work on than my own research, since it's less demanding cognitively to build a lecture than it is to write a scholarly paper. So this is my current breakdown. I'm expecting these things to change. I'm not necessarily expecting to get through everything on the list, but if I have time, this is where I want to direct myself. I want to continue my work on my narrativism chapter. I work in Scrivener, and I'm going to have my laptop with me so I can take Scrivener with me. If you don't know what Scrivener is, it's a useful writing tool, but it's not cloud-based, so I use Dropbox to save my materials, but I have to be on a laptop that actually has Scrivener downloaded. So like, for example, I can't write on this if I'm using a library computer. But for the trip, I am taking the laptop. It's big, but it's gonna come, encourage me to work, and I'll be able to continue work. Last week, I wrote pretty easily on the narrativism chapter, so I didn't want to give myself really specific guidelines for what to work on, because I didn't want to constrict myself and like get myself to artificially focus on things that didn't really matter. I would like to, on the trip, draft my research statement. This is something that's for the job market. I just want to kind of lay out my overall research career. I have some materials to help guide me on that in Dropbox. So I think this is a very different activity than I'm used to, so I think it might be more approachable on the trip. I want to revise the QP, the qualifying paper. This is dependent on my advisor giving me feedback on it. I have literally no idea what it's gonna need or what it's not gonna need, or if it's going to be reasonable to revise it. But if I do get feedback while I'm away from my advisor, one thing that I like to do and is not too taxing is to turn that feedback into action steps. So, right, create a list on that feedback. Basically, rather than like rehearsing the critique, actually like get myself to say like, okay, this is the next step in solving this problem. I would also like to do course prep. I don't even know which days right now. I have through day 7 prepped. All that is saved on my laptop, so I'm not super worried about it. I also have my syllabus and stuff in my planner, so I can look over things and really figure out what makes sense to do. The metaphysics unit is just being kind of wishy-washy, so I'm not sure which direction to go, but it would be good to put in at least some POMOs on course prep. And then I want to, this is important before my presentation, I need to read the abstracts of the other people on my panel. I'm on a panel about subjectivity, which is, I don't understand exactly what that category is. It could mean a lot of different things, so I need to kind of read at least a little bit of the other people, so at the conference I'm able to kind of make connections between what I'm saying and what they're saying, and I have like some sense of like where the panel's gonna go. Since that information was provided to me, which it is not always for conferences, but since it was given to me for this conference, I want to do a little bit of homework in advance to make sure that, you know, it sounds like we're having a coherent conversation at the conference. So that's all that's on there for now. Like I said, this is kind of a wish list. I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna go. I obviously haven't put down concrete things like text dad every day, or I don't think I need to be that formal about it. I didn't write down taking notes at all. Some of these things I kind of do intuitively. I have an approach to attending conferences. It's definitely not perfect and I'm still working on it, but it's not the kind of thing I need to write down in my planner. So yeah, that is this check-in. I will let you guys know how this goes when I come back from my trip, and hopefully it's going to be fruitful and I'm going to survive all the wonderful things in Poland. All right, I will check in with you guys later. Bye-bye.